let's talk about the Blueprint for Change. Okay, so if you guys are all working for DFACS, you guys have heard about the Blueprint for Change by now. The Blueprint for Change it's been almost like a 3-year process now. The leadership, you know, and we actually went to the Child Welfare League of America conference earlier in DC in March, and I got to hear from Ginger Pryor herself about how they kind of came along and into this, how we kind of got here, and how all the different changes and constant fluctuation in leadership really got us to a place where we were like, okay, let's slow down. Like, you know, we had, when she went through the numbers, we had like 9 directors, like 12 division deputy directors, and over like a 10-year span. So how can an agency really affect change when you have all of that and we don't have anything consistent to keep us together? And so that's when they kind of sat down and strategized and came up with the Blueprint for Change, okay? So when you talk about the Blueprint for Change, it has 3 main pillars, okay? All of our work, no matter what we do in this agency, will fit into these 3 pillars. Okay? We're talking about a robust work development. Okay? And that's kind of like a piece of what you guys are doing, beefing up your skills, going back to school, being able to get that opportunity to go to school and still come and work for DFACS, right? Those people who work for DFACS who may not have the, they may not want to take the direct path from case manager to supervisor to administrator on up. They want to make sure that they have different avenues for people to be able to advance and use the different skills that you do have. When we talk about the practice model, we'll get into that and talk about what that is, but constituent engagement is huge. And I heard so many of you guys talking about partnerships, and that's exactly what constituent engagement is. That is partnering with people because the agency cannot do it alone. We've been trying to, and you know, a lot of times when we get the flack in the media, it is the agency. But we recognize, just like with families, it takes a village to raise these. It takes a village, everybody to have eyes on kids, to help families, to pitch in. It takes a whole community to do that, and that's really what constituent engagement is about. Developing advisory boards. When we came out with the practice model, instead of just saying, George is doing this is what we're doing, you guys have heard about this. They went on to road shows. They went out in the community, let them ask questions. What do you think? This is what we're going to do in the next coming years. And so that's what constituent engagement is all about. And so this is kind of our blueprint for change to a state of hope. And this is kind of like the pillars that we use as our foundation for the state of Georgia. Okay.
And just I just want to also mention how, like, you and I, we go out and talk to the courts, like to the parent attorneys, CASA. We go out and share, you know, what's actually happening within our agency, so that when our case managers and supervisors go to court, they'll know exactly what we're working on. So that constituent engagement is a large part of our job as well.
Okay. We've made huge strides in the journey to being the best child welfare agency in the world. And that was kind of Bobby's charge, right? That's what he wanted us to see. We want not have low expectations for us as an agency. We're not just going to be the best in the nation, we're going to be the best in the world. That's our expectation. Will we reach that every single time? No, but that is the expectation that we walk in, that we want to provide hope to every single family that we encounter. Will it work for every family? No. But it's our role, it's our job to provide hope, okay? All right, so what is solution-based casework? This is very simple, break it down. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but this one sentence kind of just sums it all up. Grounded in a framework of safety, because that's what we do, it's child safety, we're DFACS. And wedded to full family engagement, okay? That's that partnership. SBC is a practice model that is thought of as the architecture that holds our practice to a consistent focus on safety outcomes. That was a whole lot, right? Okay? But I think of it like a marriage, okay? So you got safety and you got partnership with families, and you just marry them together, okay? And it makes all of us stay focused on safety, okay? We want to partner with families. We are not the police, okay? We don't have a star badge. We don't have guns. We are here to partner with families, and we can assess for safety and be respectful to people at the same time. And that's what our practice model gives us guidelines to assess for safety, and then how do we engage families at the same time.